right, so I think now we're ready to start. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our third town hall meeting. This time at a different time than usual. Normally we start at 17:30 UTC to accommodate for the so-called Impact Fest, which is starting 1 hour from now. We decided to start a bit earlier this time. So thank you so much for joining. And thank you so much to our three guests they were flexible enough because we already had planned the initial time a long time ago. So we have Lido Nation with us. We have Lucas from the Latam community, and we have Maria Carmo. So we're very excited, thank you so much for joining.
Bienvenidos al experimento. Las cosas pueden romperse, faltar documentación, diferir altamente entre iteraciones, desorientar, sobrecargar e inspirar. Nuestro objetivo, you wanna know?
Yeah,
proveer un espacio seguro para explorar el más alto potencial de la colaboración humana.
Excellent.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lucas,
thank you
the
so
man
much.
of thousand smiles.
Very good, very good. All right. So, Darlington, I think you should be able now to share your screen.
Okay, Lido Nation. So Lido Nation is not one single project per se. The three code are sort of in the Cardano space because we care about a few things. Three primarily education, and we care about that being accessible in different languages and mediums. We're very interested in outreach. Before, when I just started Lido Nation, I used to say, we're not here for the 1%, we're here for the 99% who's currently not even in blockchain yet or know what blockchain is. So outreach is a big thing. And then also, as we're outreaching to people, we want to be building these different communities around the globe. So all of the projects in Catalyst and out of Catalyst sort of will stem from one of these three agenda. And of course, we have a stake pool. So we're doing a lot of that technical stuff too, mostly for the fun of it, really. Some background of how we sort of started. The stake pool launched in 2020. And so we did it. I was like, yay, now what? Right. And so we sort of like, after we launched the stake pool, enough material out there to read about blockchain and Cardano in a way that sort of conform to those three, our three first principles, really, right? So they weren't trying to address different people in different languages, all about pricing and stuff like that, right? So we sort of target this picture. Once upon a time was a star on the lidonation.com homepage. It promptly got it was a polarizing.
It wasn't polarizing. It was so cute. The first time I saw lidonation.com, it had this cute little pug on it, and it said "for the noobs," and a lot of other cute things that were cute, but maybe a little bit techie oriented, and maybe didn't really tell what we were trying to tell.
Yeah, before we jump to the next slide, this would be a good time to introduce Stephanie, because this is around Stephanie and this pug showed up around the same time. And she's been a big part of why Lido Nation has been more accessible than when this pug was, reigning. So maybe you can jump in there, Stephanie.
Yeah, well, the bar it had to clear was it had to make sense to me, and then we could move on from there. So.
So yeah, we've moved on from there. Do you want to chat about maybe some of the numbers on here, and I can fill in the gaps?
Sure, I just started collecting some fun numbers. So we started writing articles. I had to learn enough from Darlington and with my own research to start writing my own articles, and he would proof them. I would read his articles and make them make more sense to more human beings. And he would read my articles and make sure they made sense and were correct, you know, from a technical side and from his deeper understanding of blockchain and the technology. And so as of about a month ago, we were up to 66 articles, and that keeps growing every week. We've had 9 funded projects through Project Catalyst, stake pool slowly growing. Our community of just contributors has been growing, and we'll get more into that, but we have, you know, multiple content writers, mentees, stuff going on in that area. Darlington especially is very busy on Twitter Spaces, participating in many hours of leadership and you know, being a part of a lot of conversations on Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the
and
3,200 catalyst per month. We'll talk about that more in the presentation later, though, but it turned out to be one of the biggest, I think maybe one of our biggest contributions to the larger community is around catalyst research. So we'll get back to that.
Right, there's a few more slides. We'll sort of zip through these, be respectful of time and everything. But those are sort of the background and the TLDR. So like our 3 first principles, we sort of have these, you know, content, community, catalyst, as the way we try to deliver on those 3 agendas, writing content, building community, and then of course being active in Catalyst. Specifically for Catalyst, so far we've proposed 18 proposals and funded for 9. We've completed 3. One of them was presented at the town hall yesterday. You can catch that on YouTube if you weren't there for the town hall. Our first proposal was Fund 6. Do you want to add anything about that, Stephanie?
Well, I think one of the first proposals is one of our completed ones too. So if you just pop through the next slides, we could just review our completed projects really quick. 2 completed projects around translation, and I'll speak to those. I was the lead on those. We've had a project translating our content to Swahili, and one to translating our content into Spanish. These relate obviously to our pillar about content. We want our content to be educational and accessible to as many people as possible. So part of that is back to what I was saying about that Stephanie has to be able to understand the content. I'm the dummy that has to be able to write. I'm the dummy test and try to, you know, make sure that what we're writing is something that new people and non-technical people can understand. I'm not actually such a dummy, but I work with nonprofits and technology, and so well, I might be a little bit of a dummy too, but in my work, I'm working with a lot of non-technical people and helping them use technical solutions to, you know, do more with their mission. And so helping non-technical people understand what technology can do and how it can, you know, do really good things in the world is something I'm really get excited about. So that's what I'm looking at for our content. But anyway, so educational, make sure it's like understandable. Can we explain hard things in understandable and exciting ways? And then language translation just kind of fits in there with that, right? Because not everyone speaks English. So, you know, there's a lot of languages in the world, but all we can do is try. And so Swahili was a target because of the Africa connection, Cardano having interest in Africa, us personally having interest in Africa. And so we went with Swahili. I'll leave it at that. I won't talk too much more about this one because I think we'll talk more about our blockchain lab in Kenya, which connects to this. And I also just covered it at the town hall yesterday. We can click to the next slide. This one just was completed at the end of July. At the end of June, I completed the Spanish translation project, translated 50 articles. We also try to provide all of our content in audio format. So that was part of both the Swahili and Spanish projects. Also a piece of our website that we're trying to crowdsource. So we got funded to do some audio recordings, but we'll talk about how you can participate in Lido Nation. And this is one way you can. You can just go to the website, and whether you want to speak English, Spanish, or Swahili, you will be able to find a spot where you can click a button at the top of an article and record an audio reading, making that content available to people who might just want to listen. Slide.
Just quickly, when Stephanie was recording a lot of these Spanish audio recordings, she tried out different personas.
Oh my gosh.
So maybe you will find some of the entertaining ones if you're a Spanish speaking person listening to these recordings.
Next slide.
A big part of my effort has been the tech and like trying to organize and catalog and make Catalyst available. This is a proposal that was a proof of concept, so it hasn't, the actual work hasn't been done yet, but the whole concept was, can we sort of automate using a relatively sophisticated machine learning translation service to translate proposals into other languages, especially ones that are funded, so that non-English speaking community can participate in the auditing and cheerleading and things of those nature. That was a really good success. I love the tool. We have interfaces down to like facilitate crowdsourcing and incentivization to where you can go in, pull in a proposal, click translate, and it will create a draft for you using this machine learning tool. And then you can sort of edit it as a human to sort of fill in the gaps of where the machine doesn't quite understand. So we need to like deploy that in mass and get these proposals translated and sort of crowdsource it. But it was exciting to be able to prove that out and build some of those tooling to facilitate that work. And then these are the projects we have in flight now, funded in Fund 8 and one in Fund 7. So there's the blockchain lab in Fund 7. I'm a software engineer by trade. My day job, I do a lot of infrastructure as code, cloud architecting, software engineering stuff. So I like having stuff to build. I'm working on the AdaPay plugin for WordPress. And then I'm also writing some articles for it's a 12 series article talking about Cardano and Ethereum side by side. That's been well received so far by both the Ethereum and the Cardano community. There's only been 2 installments in that series, which has been exciting. And then maybe Benjamin, you as the newest co-dreamer at Lido Nation, you're writing some stuff too. You want to share a little bit about what you're writing? You're muted. Oh, something. Uh-oh. Things may break.
Hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep, I can hear you, Benjamin. Hi.
Okay. Yeah, it was said I was not muted, but okay. So yeah, I was brought in a couple months ago. I actually messaged Darlington on Twitter after seeing him talk about Lido very briefly in a town hall and asked him if they needed a writer. And he said, hey, we have a proposal called Real Journalism Cardano Insights, as you can see right there on the screen. And he said, we may get funded for it and we may need a writer for it. And you seem to fit the bill for what we're looking for. And so that did get funded, thank goodness. And so then I was able to come on and start doing some writing. My first piece was about doing work as a proposal assessor. And the next 2 that just came out like a week or 2 ago were about, staking on Cardano. And and I have a bunch of other pieces that are coming up that our research is all derived from our Catalyst tool, which I'm sure we'll get into a little bit here. And so that's kind of what I've been working on. I've really enjoyed the process. I think the most I've learned about Lido that I would love to share on this call is in the editing process. We do a lot of editing for all of our articles, and maybe with 3 of us now, it's a little bit of a little bit longer of a process than Stephanie and Darlington had before, but I think honestly, like it garners so much fruit in our conversations. Like I've been like saving and kind of drafting over time a little bit of a style guide for Lido, based on some of the conversations mainly I've had specifically with Stephanie, who has helped me a lot kind of understand like, well, this is, you know, mainly the concept of making sure that this is understandable by any reader that's reading it, but that somebody doesn't need to go through a few classes to be able to understand what's going on in this article, you know, that you're really explaining it, but also something that can be attractive to somebody who's been around for quite a while that can read it. So that's been a pretty amazing like learning for me to kind of really see that those three core principles that they mentioned in the very beginning are absolutely there every step of the way. It's all integrated into the entire process on Lido Nation. And yeah, so it's neat to see that integrity. I always saw their work as very integrity driven, but to see the inner workings of it inside is pretty marvelous, I think.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Benjamin's being nice.
Yeah.
Basically,
No.
him and Stephanie now they gang up on me and tell me my stuff don't make sense.
No.
The
That's
technical
not
guy.
true.
It's a
That's
team.
not true.
It's a team
In
effort.
fact,
It's good.
no.
Go team.
Hold on.
Next slide.
I'm not. No. I'm not done with that. Then, the thing about Darlington and his articles that are coming out about Ethereum and Cardano that's very important is when you read these, they're some of the only writing you're going to find on the internet that is an actual comparison where there is not like a leaning bias, like, oh, and this is why Cardano is better, or this is why Ethereum is better. No, it just compares them to scientifically side by side and just shows this one does this and this one does this factually, not the benefits, the pros and cons, like it's not weighing it like this, like to lead you over to Cardano to sign up for the stake pool or whatever it is that you would maybe find in a lot of articles. And it speaks to the integrity. And I'm the new guy. I shout about this stuff and they're just like, oh, quiet down. Come on, just let people read our stuff. And I refuse to. I think they're wonderful. And I'm happy to be part of the team. I'll leave now.
Just super quickly, maybe Stephen, thanks, Benjamin. Maybe you can compress this learn to earn stuff with the blockchain lab.
Yeah, you bet. So this slide is last slide was featuring our projects that are in flight, and now these are the three among the three that we have out there for Fund 9 that we'll be all voting on in a couple of weeks. Swahili Learn to Earn. This is sort of the next step from my Swahili translation project, and also dovetails with the work that we're doing at our Cardano lab in Kenya. There's an actual physical lab, Gong Road Blockchain Lab in Kenya, that is focused on Cardano, developer mentorship that Darlington leads, and community outreach that I lead. And the Swahili Learn to Earn project would be a really fun project for the lab to engage in. The idea is incentivize learning for Swahili-speaking Africa. I'm not going to try to explain the whole thing. It's really fun. I'm really excited about it, and I hope we get to do it. And not only is it, I think, this thing that would be a really cool for Swahili-speaking Africa and to really capitalize on the work that we've already done translating our content into Swahili, but some of the technical things that we would be building around content quizzes and incentivized learning, incentivizing with ADA and connecting wallets and being able to give people little rewards for participating in learning. That technical proof of concept would then have application beyond just this one project, I think, for sure. So a lot to be excited about. Ricardo.
Yeah, super exciting.
Was that a question, or were you just waving at me?
I think it was a
No. It was just
clapping.
I was clapping. Oh, clapping hands. Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, and we'll keep the train run. I'll skip these other two things. The proposals, I'm excited about them.
Yeah.
We can talk about them in discussion if people are curious. But the other big thing that takes a lot of my time at Lido, besides the other 500 things, is facilitating Project Catalyst research. I've always, before I used to call myself the Lurk ambassador. I don't do that anymore. I forgot why. But I really always wanted anybody to just go to a place and like ask a questions about what's happening in Catalyst, what's being built in Catalyst, you know, with what does that noise mean?
A musical interlude.
No.
This is Disco call, right?
Yeah, sorry about
Okay.
it was me.
Okay. I thought I was like your time is up or something. Right. And I wanted people to be able to do this without like having to sign in, like giving them personal information, all of that stuff. So I from a very early on started manually just migrating stuff out of idea skill into a public facing interface that people can engage and like ask questions about Catalyst. And over the funds and stuff, that's just gotten richer and richer and richer, which has been really fun to work with. So now you can ask questions about proposals, specific funds, you know, funding status, and all of the stuff you see on the screen here. And there's just so much more that's coming. There's actually a proposal on the current fund with a full list of features that people can see what's coming with this tool. Those features are coming whether that proposal gets funded or not. But yeah, anyways, it's exciting to work on this stuff. And if you're not familiar with this Project Catalyst research tool, I highly encourage you to get familiar with it. When voting is happening, one of the cool thing you can do as you're researching proposal is bookmark them. So you can see this is lighternation.com. You click on Project Catalyst, and then you get these sub tabs: the reports, funds, projects, people, groups. The voter tool tab is one that will scope all your search and all the proposals to just the current fund. You can still bookmark from the general projects tab as well, but if you're on this photo tool tab, it will show you only proposals that's currently on the ballot. And as you're sort of doing your research, you can click on bookmark and it will store that information in your browser, and then you get a nice little list like this by clicking on the bookmarks ribbon to reference that list. There's feature to export this list that's coming soon. And other things to know, the list is stored in your browser, so I don't know what you're bookmarking, right?
Darlington,
yes.
I'm looking at the time because we have 3 guests and we have, you know, this Impact Fest where some of the guys are going to present, but maybe just wrapping up.
Yes, this is one more slide.
Yeah, one more slide.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have asked how much time we had, but I didn't ask. But anyways, yeah, check that out. And then just last thing again, you know, we talked about how you can support Lido Nation. The Cardano Foundation recently sort of recognized our efforts and delegated to us.
Wow.
We've got them for 3 months. So if we can get that staking up on the pool, that would pay for a lot of stuff that we do and a lot of bounty type stuff that we do in Kenya and things like that. Also, we have proposals you can vote for. And then the thing I'm really excited about is the ability to record and just to get more donation, more engagement with the articles. If you read an article, leave a comment, say what you understood about it, ask a question. We really appreciate that. And if you're not too shy, feel free to record any article so other people can be able to listen to those recordings who prefer that medium compared to reading. Sorry we took so much time. I didn't know how much time we had.
But it was amazing content. It was so nice to see you. You know, I've been in some of the spaces, but it's always nice to see the faces behind the products. It's really amazing. You've been great. And I hope we do stay in touch. We do have with our product activities also supporting Kenya. And that would be amazing if we can collaborate going forward. Thank you so much.
We will love that. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to say congratulations for your presentation yesterday. And I want to say your congratulations to your marketing team. I think that Lido Nation understand how Catalyst work. Your presence in Twitter and all social media is fantastic, and it's one of the keys to be success in this space, in this ecosystem. So congrats for that. You know how to hear the community, what community wants, what community needs, and reflect that in your proposal and in your project. So congrats for that. And well, I'm very excited to see what you are building and keep seeing what you're building today.
Great. All right, Lucas, stage is yours. I don't know if you want to share something.
Now, I wanted to ask a quick question. I want to ask the guy about Leo Nation in Spanish. I wanted to ask if you want, or do you think of a way we could collab? For example, here in Latam, we have many people, as you know, in Spanish and Portuguese. So if anything comes up to you, we can connect and maybe work together.
Awesome. That's why this space exists. Thank you, Lucas, for that.
Very good. All right, Lucas, then.
Okay, so now it's my time. I wanted to speak a little bit. I don't have a presentation. I want to speak a little bit about my story on how I got into Cardano. A little bit about my journey on how I got full time into working in Cardano. Gladly, here in this space, we have many people that are already working full time, and that's amazing, right? Because if you are willing to dedicate your full time to something, that surely has value, right? So I'm really happy about that. And yeah, to tell you a little bit about myself, I joined the Cardano Ambassador Program a few months ago, like 2 months ago. I'm co-founder of Token Allies and the Latin Cardano community. You see here, my journey with cryptocurrencies began a few years ago in 2014. I was just a little kid, and I remember I was looking for ways of making money because I didn't want to ask my parents for money to buy a PC game, I think. And I got into a video, it was like top 5 ways of making money online. And the fifth one, and like they're less relevant, it's like cryptocurrency mining. Then immediately I had to search for what mining was, and then I had to look for what cryptocurrency was and Bitcoin was. And yeah, it was quite interesting. I was like 13 years old. I didn't think much of it, and I mined for 2 or 3 days. And yeah, I lost the wallet, lost everything. It wasn't that much money, anyways. But then in 2020, in the pandemic, I started investing in traditional markets. You know, in stocks, in Coca-Cola stock, Intel stock, like all these businesses. You know, and right around the beginning of 2021, I started hearing about Bitcoin, right? Like I remember when I used to investigate about that a few years ago, and I started hearing like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. Okay, this is interesting. What's going on here? I was like people. I was the one that said that there was a bubble, but yeah, then then I started hearing about the NFT craze. I don't know if you remember in February 2021 there was a huge NFT wave. The People NFT that sold for 69 million, the CryptoPunks that sold for 14 million. And that's when I decided to look more into it, you know? And I stumbled across the concept of tokenization. And that concept absolutely blew my mind because I started quickly realizing the huge potential it had and the huge potential it also had in Latam. So so I decided to start a tokenization platform, which now is called Token Allies. We dedicate to crowdfunding real businesses in Cardano, you know. And yeah, I started building in Cardano around, I think it was Fund 4, Fund 5. I voted in Fund 5 and then proposed in Fund 6. I never I didn't never read the guidelines did, and didn't enjoy the town hall, so I didn't understand much about it. So I proposed and didn't get funded. And then in Fund 7, I met with Alex Flechanker, you might know him. He's also from the Latin community. And we met in the Cardano Summit last year. And he gladly joined Token Allies. And we got funded in Fund 7. We learned a lot from the mistakes I did in Fund 6. And right about that same time, we also started talking about how there wasn't a big representation of Latin America in Catalyst. There were some people, some reference, but there wasn't an exact group. So we decided to propose and create what now is called the Latin community. And gladly we got funded. We started hosting the Latin town halls around December last year, and now I think we are like 27 town halls in. So yeah, it's been a success. And right about that same time, I also saw a proposal in Fund 7, which was called Cardano Buenos Aires. I live in Buenos Aires. So I started organizing these events. Plus small events. We just get together and drank some beers and we pay with ADA. I remember we even tipped the waiter in ADA and he didn't know about it, but he was happy. And right when I started hosting those events, I saw there was a form to register as an ambassador, and I did it. Just took my chance, and yeah, when that happened, we got funded in Fund 7 in the Latin Town Hall, and I decided to go full time into Cardano. And yeah, ever since then, I'm so happy. I'm so glad to be part of this community, and yeah, that's kind of summarizes my whole history here in Cardano. And yeah, if you have any questions about the Latin community, maybe about token allies, something I really want to mention is that today in 9:30 UTC, we have the Cardanolatam Women Fest. It's an event to celebrate all women in Cardano and tech mainly, and everywhere. So if you want to come along, you're all invited. It will be a great party. We even have live music. So yeah, come along.
Great, great. I guess there are some questions from the audience. I'm quite sure about that. Thank
Yeah, I
you.
was seeing the chat, but I couldn't stop to listen to it. Yeah, we have a live band today from a pre-nominated to Grammy band here from Colombia. So I guess it's gonna be a quite a show.
Yeah.
Well, I know
Question.
Lucas for a while. He's a good, really good friend of mine. We work together, and I know what he's building and how he see the future of Cardano. And it's so inspiring how he talks, what he's building. So thank you, Lucas, to be here. Thank you to be my friend, and thank you.
Thank you for inviting me. It's been a pleasure. And yeah, I wanted to also take the time to congratulate all what you're doing here in the European Town Hall. It's crazy the growth you're having. I'm really happy for you, and yeah, hopefully in a few years we're gonna see the huge potential these communities are gonna have, and it will be crazy. It will be.
Yeah.
And so what I wrote in the chat about you can go and tell your experience in Latin America is because today is going to be about women and women that are working on Cardano, and you are really contributing with Catalyst sticker, and they can also hear what you are doing today. Why not? She's laughing at me. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why you're laughing. You're gonna come, right?
I just missed the context. But now it's clear.
Okay. And Darlington, do you have a question?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I love what the Latin America community's been doing, especially in Catalyst. Stephanie has she's been wanting to go to those events and stuff, but she has a day job, so she's not quite at the full-time Cardano yet. I keep trying to push her in that direction. Right. But I was curious, is there a place where you guys are cataloging all of the Latin based proposals? Like
Yes.
there are
There is an
yes,
Excel
is
spreadsheet.
ooh, I would love that, please.
About
So
you're talking about this fund, or you're talking about documentation of what we have done this far?
um both. I was more talking about specifically proposals that are actually of people that's in the different Latin diaspora, or what's the word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If there's
actually,
a spreadsheet of that, I would love to see that, so to help people discover those proposals more.
yeah, actually with Mauro, well, we are already working on that, on having a big list. Not a recommended list because yeah, everyone can write their own name, but yeah, we're working on having a full list of all Latin American proposals, and yeah, share them all around Twitter and all across social media so everyone can Can
That
hear
would
about it.
be great. Yeah, that would be excellent.
Yeah, I'm working with that with Lucas, and I will send you if you want to DM to the Lido Nation when it's done. I'm also work with the people of Latin America in that awesome projects. I know the team, so I'm really proud what we are building on Cardano, giving a space to LATAM and giving a space to Europe. How we contribute, let us grow so fast. That is amazing. That's outstanding.
Yeah, there was a person on Twitter today. There was like, oh, looking for environmental projects in Catalyst. And it was great to be able to point to be like, hey, I know those people. There's Cardano for climate, right? And there was even a filter for them to be able to see all those projects. I'm sure people ask similar questions of like, are there any people working in Brazil or just Spanish in general or España or whatever, right? So to be able to answer those questions to try to get people connected.
Yeah, that's what's great about communities, right? We have a space where we can point people to another people, and that's one of the, I think, the greatest values that we communities have is that we can direct people to the right place in Cardano and help them and not to get lost in the middle of all this sound you have all around the community.
Yeah. Yeah, I think also in Brazil there is a growing community of people. I was lucky enough to meet one of the guys who is active here. It's Kawe. Yeah, great experience also from the operational point of view as a stake pool operator. So it was yeah, a great experience to travel somewhere in the world and then meet somebody you have never met before, but suddenly you can connect in a very nice way. Very good. All right, then I think we can move on and start talking to Maria Carmo. Hi, Maria. How are you?
Hello, hi everyone.
Hi.
I would like to share a presentation, okay?
Great. Yeah, thank you.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yep. So thank you very much for inviting me here. It's a pleasure. I'm sorry, I'm a bit nervous, so my English goes all over the place when
No,
you have to give these presentations. So this is my nickname, Carmo369. I love Tesla, and the magic numbers for Tesla is 369 is because it's the end of my name. And this is my social media where you can contact me. This is the place I came from, São Paulo, Brazil. As you can see, it's a wealth city. There is no scarcity here. Until we look at where I really came from, that's look more like this. But my friends and families would come from a place like this. So it's a
Maria, the
level.
slide isn't moving.
I think you're
Your
sharing the other
screen.
screen.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sharing.
Do you have two screens?
Was still saying the first slide.
You see, so yeah, I'm moving it. Strange. Let's come back. I'm moving to that one. Can
No.
There we go.
now?
There
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go.
So I'm just gonna leave it a little bit small so I can control better. So here's where I actually came from. This is where my friends or my family will come from. But one day I just got the opportunity to move on and come to Ireland, build a better life, build everything. And one day I got in contact with Cardano, and here is my first office where I built everything I built was made from this corner in the dinner table. And either here as well in friend's house where I'm doing the lives every single Sunday or doing tutorials or videos about Cardano. So to understand a little bit more, I'm a millennium, that there is the time where I was born. And because I was born that time in a place that was in Latin America that's underdeveloped, I miss a few revolutions. I miss the revolution of the telecommunication. The first landline I would have in my house was 1999. I talk about it in this interview with Charles, where he got two landlines in his house. One is for his dad work and one for he play on the internet. So Also, I miss out this revolution where who is in different countries and places of the world got the computers in the 70s and the 80s. I got my first computer in 2003. Somebody else paid me a death and I just accepted. I was loving to be able to have a computer for the first time. And then as you move along, I missed the third revolution that was the internet. We have the protocol TCP/IP since the 80s, but I was almost in 2000 when I first got access to internet and opened my first email account. And because I miss all those revolutions, right, because I come from and things I saw, inflation and economy and all these disasters, as you can see worldwide, and I met Cardano and I built this channel with 13,000 people. I only talk about Cardano projects and everything else. And then I went to Emurgo to do a course to really understand what was this revolution. And in 29th of July 2020, I opened and found my stake pool with my other partners, but I will come to it later on. And I did this job to go everywhere, talk to everyone that want to learn about Cardano, tell that was the third generation blockchain and everything that you know as Cardano is good at to solve the trilemma of blockchain. Here's some other places. And then, for who don't know me here, don't know me, I'm here since Fund 1, where was no ADAS, and then we came along and Fund 2 and got funded, Lovelace Academy. It got funded in the beginning of 2021. It hasn't been delivered because the code has changed so much. If any single episode we deliver is almost up to date because the projects evolved so much. We have 25 videos about general projects in Cardano, and we have 25 videos of programming. So the programming, we actually deliver some, but because it has been changing, it's outdated. So now I got someone to work together with me to build up the walking through a little bit of Haskell and bring people to Plutus. And then later on, I'm gonna deliver malware episodes as well. Here are some other projects I am in contact with, very close to Catalyst School, Latam, DeFi School. I got funded in Fund 2 with Lovelace Academy, and Fund 7 because we have this challenge of Latin America. I got funded DeFi School, where we'll teach for free anyone that wants to learn the protocols or DeFi and how it works in Cardano. And then there is a little goats, NFT projects. I love them because they bring the Brazilian culture to NFT. And then I got very involved with them. The 10 NFTs just sold in 2 weeks. And here is where we are in Fund 9 with just 2 proposals. This presentation is a bit outdated because it doesn't show the challenge of Latin America that I'm proposing. There is 2 challenge. I couldn't find it on the day scale, and then I submit again. So there is one for Cardano support for Latin America and another Grow Cardano, Grow Latin America. And it's no problem if you vote for them or voting for me. If we both win, it's happy days. If they get the votes, I win. If I got the vote, everybody wins. So this was my point of keeping the challenges there and decide the community to allow the Latin America people to come along and contribute as I have been doing and trying to be doing. And seems when you look to when Lovelace Academy got funded to now that I was doing anything, but I was actually growing my own stake pool. If you look for the numbers of people who has in stake pools, my stake pool took 10,500 people delegation on it. I'm not crushing a number of ADAs, but I think I'm crushing education, I'm crushing to bring people in and tell them what we are about to do here, this revolution that's happening. I don't want people that's like me from the suburbs to miss it out. And it's why I do what I do. Thank you very much.
Wow, this is amazing. Amazing stuff. Thank you so much, Maria. I am myself also from a Latin American country, as you know, El Salvador, which is a place where people really struggle, especially, you know, it's like sometimes it's a downward spiral, right? How do you think we could reach more people, you know, that have little access to education in Latin America? Where do you see potential for that?
I see that we are doing it for layers. Before, in the beginning, we got all the English speakers, all the big holders of ADAs, and then we spread as we go along. We didn't get the people who have no power to buy ADAs, but we'll get there with the time. I am here in the first wave of Cardano that we got in $3 and the things got crazy. So what I'm doing now, I'm paving the way again, building new contents, updating everything, paving the way. When these people come on, they will know what is a wallet. They will know how to keep the word safe. They will know how to create safe password. They will know now to get burdened as I did, as many people I know did, lost the words, lost the wallets and things like that.
I think, Mauro, you have a question.
Yeah, I want to say one, I'm joining to Catalyst. One of the first speeches and life stories that I heard was of Maria in the LATAM town hall, and was really, really inspiring for me. I see that here there is an opportunity to us to grow professionally, personally, and to keep building. And there is opportunity from not only Latin America to every single person around the world, across the globe. And that was really, really inspiring to me. I see that here is an opportunity to me to spread the word and keep building. So thank you, Maria. Thank you for that speech month ago. I never said thank you, but you really inspired me. And now I'm here working full-time in Cardano, working full-time building communities and in parties, thanks to you and thanks to Latin community. So
yeah.
Thank you, Mauro. It has inspired me to keep going because, you know, I'm a human being. All of you is a human being. Some of days we are not well. Some of days we have personal issues to deal with. But I do my best to answer everybody, every single email, every single message.
Right.
yeah,
So,
and your personal life is so inspiring. How you there is no excuses. If you want to keep growing and building, you can come on this environment and seek some help, amplify your networking, and start building on Cardano.
That's it. Zoe.
Hey Maria, I've also often seen you or speeches of you, and you're always super enthusiastic about Cardano, and it seems like you have a never or a pot of energy that is super unlimited. So I'm curious and wanted to ask you how did you find out about Cardano, and what caught you?
Okay, as I move along and I came from different country here in Ireland or in Europe, you can buy gold very easy, 50 euro, 100 euro. It's not possible buy it like that in Latin America or even Brazil. And I got a book saying the fever of gold, and I started learning about gold and videos, and one video got me to Bitcoin, telling about the proof of work and how the transactions go inside the block and how the block go behind each other, how is the consensus, all this stuff. And I thought, wow, it's amazing. And then I got curious and then went to buy 100 euro Bitcoin. Took 4 hours to get to my wallet, and the transaction was 20 euro, more or less like that. Huh? So I'm here thinking it's not going to change the world. It will someday, but not now. And then I got to Ethereum, and then I got the gas fee, some things here and there that I didn't like, news about hacking and projects. And then I move along to Cardano, and I got very interested about the Cardano building layers, about being backed by science, about the community is amazing. Nothing that I showed to you, I did on my own. I have two amazing partners, that's Zatico and Bosco, and they help me all the way. I do not grasp all the types of Ouroboros, the science and the code behind it, but I kept the power of it. And with the power of this technology on my heart, I speak to people so they can feel that power themselves.
Thank you so much for this answer.
Yeah,
No problem.
yeah. I think Cardano is all about community. You know, I had a similar experience. So started with Ethereum in my case. So I skipped Bitcoin, but then when I realized, you know, the troubles with the gas fees, etc. In my case, it was the YouTuber Pete from the Learn Cardano podcast. He's an Australian guy. But yeah, I mean, I was listening to him, and suddenly it made this click, right? And then you like fell in love with the Cardano environment, and the more you interact with the community, you know, the more you get engaged, and you realize, you know, all this passion, all this drive of so many people. Very good. We have 6 more minutes. I guess there might be some questions in the audience, but I think we should close on time for the guys that are joining the Impact Fest. So if there is anyone who wants to answer maybe a question related adoption in Europe. So where do you see challenges for adoption in Europe? And yeah, maybe we can discuss this in the last 5 minutes.
I want to open a little discussion with David. Well, we are thinking about creating some Twitter spaces from languages that are not English, from Italian, German, Swedish. So what do you think? And our idea is in the future, make that contribution a little payment that is going to be a proposal in Fountain. So you need to support us. But what do you think about that? And what do you think about paying contributions to members of active in the community that spend time of their lives and they are now enjoying with their family building on Cardano, give a little support or a little price to their contribution? And David, what do you want to say about this new space?
Yeah, speaking of the space, I'm very happy. It's a very good experiment we are trying to do. Giovanni will help a lot. He's also have already a lot of experience. I'm very glad that I can join him and start learning also how to, interact better with the community in order to improve the results, in order to be more efficient for the community.
Yeah, I think language is definitely an entry point for many people that might not feel comfortable, you know, explaining things or learning things in English. I was impressed by what Lido Nation is doing in terms of languages, also Swahili. It opens the door for many people. So that's really amazing. And there are so many smaller countries in Europe, you know, with very specific languages. And I think, you know, if we would have content in Romanian, in Bulgarian, in Czech language, I think that would increase, you know, the chances of those people joining us and being part of the family. Maria, you have a
I
point.
am so happy to see this word language everywhere, because when I came here was code, and whatever it was. And today we are talking about education, about bringing people in, about talking in an easy way that people can understand, is what Lido did in the presentation. It's amazing work. Actually, if you are interested in Portuguese language, I'm interested too, because this language is spoken in so many countries in the world, even somewhere in China. So it'll be lovely to contribute with you. I produce some content in Portuguese, some content in English. My website is all over the place. It's just because I want everyone to have the chance to see a sparkling in what we are doing, and maybe wake up and maybe say, no, there is a chance, there is something else.
Yeah, great. Darlington.
Yeah, I love this energy around language. One of the big thing that we learned when we were doing the language translation work is try not to translate the stuff that's in English, not to translate the words, but so it was a lot of work like teaching the people what the concept is so they can get it first before they even start translating, because then they don't just move the word over, like they move the idea and the emotion and the energy, which is super important. The one comment on the and this is why we don't have a lot more languages than the two, right? Like we could have just translation happening, but then it wouldn't have that same spark that Maria is talking about. Having that emotion in the translation is super important. For the Twitter Spaces, as someone who like spends a lot of time in Catalyst data, proposals around spaces and podcasts and YouTube's hasn't been super successful. What I found to make that even stronger is having any sort of additional outputs to those proposals. So maybe if it's a summary of the Twitter space that gets published somewhere that lives on past the Twitter space in a written format, I think that would make the proposal stronger. Seems like the community is flipped on whether we should be supporting Twitter spaces on YouTube or just not. I mean, it's a lot of work. I don't understand why they like the voters don't seem to get that. But yeah, having more tangible outputs alongside the Twitter spaces would be a good thing.
Yeah, that sounds good. All right, people, thank you so much for joining, for being today, for sharing insights from your personal life, and yeah, for being here with us. I'm wrapping up because some of the guys need to go to the next Impact Fest. And hope to see you in the next events. Don't forget, we have one very special event on September the 3rd at 10 a.m. UTC. Looking forward to see you there, and have a great day ahead. All the best.
And remember, if you want to know more about the projects on Catalyst, connect to the Impact Fest of Cardano for Climate, and also connect to the LATAM Town Hall today, a special for women on what women are building on Cardano. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day. Thank you, what we are building here in Europe.
Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.